Hello, thank you for tuning into this week's reads. This is James 13 Wicca on YouTube, just in case you're wondering where the video came from. The main part of the read, I'm going to use the Thelema Tarot. And where's the name? I thought there was a name who created it on here. Just completely blanked. Renata Lechner. It's on here on this side, I believe. And if you want to find this deck, there's the website loscarabeo.com, loscarabeo.com. Feel free to check that out if you're interested. For the tarot, for the oracle cards, magical spell cards by Lucy Cavendish, illustrated by Jesse Reish, and at the bottom there's hayhouse.com. Feel free to check that out if you're interested. And I use dice. I use a 21-sided dice, which does omit the 0, but that's what I use for the major arcana. I use a 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and a 4-sided dice to pick the suit. I want to say that the bigger dice came with this. Tom Anders, hopefully it's there. I want to say it's impactminiatures.com. There's this on the back too. If that's easier for you to use, feel free to use that. And for the smaller dice, the 14-sided one, it's Math Art Fun. If I can get this behind there, mathartfun.com. If you're interested to find that. And the little pink one I use is, I think it's from Amazon. I've had it for years. All right, so that's what we have for that. Of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you for watching, and now on to your read. Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Aries? Ba-doom. All right. I gotta remember to put down all the cards before I get excited. Slap, slap, slap. Okay. Oh, so you could be heading towards a new beginning. It also, this card came up with it, which I'm thinking it's going to be a really good beginning, or it could be a new romance. Doesn't have to be. When I see this card come up, especially in a general read, it can just mean whatever it is you're getting into, you're loving it. So it's kind of like, if you're starting a new business, it's the type of business that you love doing, and it's working out in a way that it was probably better than you expected. Just keep that in context. Could be a romance thing. It's possible. Let's just stay open to it just to be aware of that. Something has become monotonous. Something has become monotonous. This is going a really good place. So hold with me for a second. So we're starting with monotonous. Okay, that's fun. If it's hitting, it's already hitting. So if it is. Page of Cups, half in, half out. Is it the worst thing? No. Do I love it? Not really. I don't know. This reminds me of if it was a job, for example. It's kind of like, it reminds me of a phone job I had. It's it wasn't bad, but it wasn't I wasn't running to work. I couldn't wait to get on the phone. It wasn't like that. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. It's I wasn't horrified to get on the phone, but I wasn't excited to at the same time. It's this is what I do. This is how I make my paycheck. It was just kind of it's okay. If somebody asked me, do I want to do this for the rest of my life? I'd be like, no. Am I upset about doing this now? No, but that type of energy. Some's become monotonous. You're probably good at it too. Which is ironic because it's kind of I feel like you're I do what I do, but you're probably good at it too. You got the Devil card popping up with it too. I just noticed that. It's half in, half out. It doesn't control you, but it does feel like there are some boundaries here that I have to, while I'm going to keep it, I got to keep it in line. I have to be careful how I say things. I have to be careful how I do things. while I do keep it, there are some restrictions. I don't feel like overly labored with that, but I am aware of it, and I do seem to do what I have to do. I'm also getting bored of that too. I mean, that's become monotonous. And I'm looking forward, and I'm just like, I'm starting to feel like, this isn't my end. This is not my end goal wherever I am. Where do I want to be versus where I am? Okay, so I'm going to push my luck here. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. You decide. Maybe some of you are in a relationship and you're feeling that way about the relationship. You know if that's true or not. I didn't create that. It's either there or it's not. I feel like you already know that. It might be one of those relationships like, yeah, I mean, I'm comfortable. I mean, it's okay. It's got perks. Do I love it? I'm supposed to. I feel like I have that. Somebody's going to say that. I'm supposed to, I guess. Do I? I'm supposed to, I guess. That's either there or it's not. I'm not, I don't know why I feel so like about that, but whatever's going on here, whether it be work, relationship, whatever it may be, I feel like I'm doing things on my own anyway. I feel self-sufficient. I don't feel overly tied to anything. I feel like, well, this is what I have for now, if that makes sense. With the Nine of Cups, it's kind of like, yeah, I'm comfortable, but I don't feel like I have to keep this. Take it with a grain of salt. Grain of salt. So going forward, or maybe this is where you are currently, you're letting yourself think about possibilities. You're letting yourself dream a little. The thing is with Aries, in my opinion, you dream a little, but it's not long before you start acting on those dreams. If you really like something, you start searching things out. You start getting into things, and if you really want something to happen, and you start looking at dreams, and you're like, I like that dream. How could I make that happen? So if we're gonna make it really obscure, maybe you're like, oh, I'd really like to be in a band. I don't really know how to sing or play any instruments, but I do like this other instrument. How would I learn that? And maybe I should look into that. And I could get a secondhand one here just to try it out. And I know I could go on YouTube and just see if I could just try a couple chords and see if it works for me. And then there are possibilities. Maybe I could, if I do like it, I could find somebody local to actually teach me how to do it. And blah, 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 blah. It just seems like Aries, if you really have passion for something, you just start searching it out here and there little by little. And I get that the Two of Pentacles is saying there's a lot of choices to be made to change your situation. But if you're passionate about it, you'll start working on it. When I see that Two of Pentacles, it's more about the end goal and like making stable steps forward to make something happen that you want. I feel like they're highlighting something that maybe you've become a little bit complacent with whatever you're dealing with. Maybe you've gotten a little bit too comfortable, even though you're not super comfortable. It's kind of like, sitting on a lawn chair in the middle of your living room. It's kind of like, well, this isn't the comfort I wanted for my living room, but then maybe I've gotten used to it, so I'm just like, well, I mean, it's my lawn chair, so I guess it's fine. So it's like sitting in a lawn chair in your living room watching TV. Maybe I've gotten used to it. Maybe it's okay for now, but like, is this my end game? Do I want something more comfortable? Do I want something that fits me better? And it's kind of like, it's time for you to kind of like decide, do you want to stay the way things are? Because you can. Or is it that time where it's kind of like, it's time to change things? It's more about also looking back and kind of like realizing how long have you stayed at this level and said it's okay for now, it's okay for now, it's okay for now. Some of you might have been there 5-6 years, even longer, playing the it's okay for now game. How many more years is it going to be okay for now? Which is your business. I'm not saying you have to change anything, but like, is it okay for now, or is this okay for the rest of your life? And I feel like a lot of you are going to answer, if this is hitting anyway, no, it's not okay for the rest of my life. Well, how long has it been that you've accepted it so far? That's what they're asking you with this Six of Cups. You have possibilities for new beginnings here. And what's triggering that is, in my opinion, ironic. I'm going to do the dice on this card because I feel like we're hitting a wall, and that's kind of like triggering the whole situation. Hermit half in, half out, which is like introspection with blabbermouth all in one. Like the Hermit reversed is sometimes a blabbermouth card, in my opinion. Like not editing, not thinking about what they're saying, and people just saying what they're saying. Depends. The Queen of Pentacles coming in too is coming in. I get the blabbermouth energy with that Hermit reversed. It's like it's half in, half out, which means kind of blabbermouth, but something that somebody's been thinking about for a long time. And I get the Queen of Pentacles, like somebody is, I don't know, something's being said here. You're hitting a wall. I feel like somewhere in the near future, we're going to hit that moment where it's kind of like, you know what? The situation, I was hoping, even though I didn't really care for how it wasn't the worst thing. I was still hoping there was room to grow. And I'm realizing I'm landlocked. So it's like if I wanted to like make a bigger garden, I'm starting to realize I can't. I have a house on this side, I have that on this side, somebody just put that in over there. I can't go any farther. This land I thought was usable is not usable to make whatever grow that I wanted to grow. I'm realizing that I'm landlocked. The potential I was hoping for isn't really there. And maybe somebody else is doing something where you're not really pleased with them. That might be also this block card coming in. Kind of like, I've been putting up for something for a while. It's almost like having that job and doing it pretty well, but then all of a sudden getting a bad review, and you're like, wait, what's this? Well, we think you could do better, and you're just doing old hat. You're not really growing with the situation. You're just doing the same thing over and over, and we don't think that's good enough. Since we know you can do better, we're giving you a bad review. It's kind of like, oh. Anybody had that happen before? I've had somebody say that to me once. I was just like, oh, I make the same amount of money, and I'm supposed to do better, or I'm going to get a bad review. Okay. I've had people, like, it's kind of like, you can only be so nice, but they're like, yeah, but you could do this, you could do these modules, you could try to help other people out on other teams and stuff like that. And like, I don't get paid like that, but okay. Anyway, I don't know why I went down that road, but that was fun. There's a block coming up where I feel like it stops you in your tracks. Like, I don't feel like I'm appreciated. It's one of those things. You have two paths at this point. One that's not going to serve you and one that is. It's ironic what's not going to serve you. We're just going to make sure on that. Six of Cups reversed and the Hanged Man, trying to release the Hanged Man. If the Six of Cups reversed is like forgetting that you don't really care for this situation all that much, that it's not really something you want to fight for, and then trying to fight for it to make it look like you do fit here. I'm kind of surprised Aries would do this, but there might be something here that maybe they're saying something in a certain way that's triggering you, and maybe you feel like, I'm going to prove that I can do this. I'm going to prove to them. I don't know why Aries would want to do that, but if you want to, that's your business. It's kind of like I'm feeling unappreciated, so I'm going to prove to you that you should appreciate me, and pushing forward and trying to show that, you're lucky to have me. That's actually not going to serve you. Some of you might choose that. I'm thinking not all of you would anyway, but here's what they say would serve you better to choose. When you don't feel appreciated, start looking for somebody else, somewhere else. Somebody or somewhere else. If you're in a relationship, I would recommend ending that relationship before you find a new one, but it came out of my mouth the way it came out of my mouth, so just kind of roll with it the way you need to. If you're not appreciated where you are, find somewhere else to be appreciated and start heading that direction. Kind of like, you know what, the value I want isn't here anyway, so maybe I should start looking elsewhere. Maybe it's time to start activating my Ace of Wands energy and go create value somewhere else. And I feel like they're saying that's the only place you're going to find peace with this subject, is to go somewhere else. Otherwise, you're going to keep going in this cyclical thing to where people are like not going to appreciate you, and then you have to go bend over backwards to make them appreciate you, and then it just goes back into the same thing. And I feel like whatever this is, if this reading is hitting, you're not super excited to be there anyway. You're just kind of like, it works. You got this going on in the environment around you. Somebody's like, I feel like people are expecting you to do more than they're doing. That's one thing. It's like they're not showing you, or they're not giving you the appreciation they should anyway. That's one thing going on. So, and I'm not saying that like you're entitled to it. I'm saying that, like, for example, if there's 50 bricks that have to be moved across the room, you keep moving 40 of them across the room, and the other person like whines and complains about moving the 10 that they have left when they were supposed to move 25. You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense, because I feel like that's how it's going. It's kind of like there's 50 bricks that have to be moved across the room. You end up moving 40 because you don't want to wait for somebody else, and you don't want to be, having to wait for them to finish before you can go home. So you just get it done. Meanwhile, the 10 bricks that they finally did move, they're oh, it was so hard, Aries. I don't know how you did it. Okay, I don't know how you did it either, but you did. That's how they're not appreciating you. When you do step away from them, they're going to feel bad about it, and they're going to regret that they didn't, well, I shouldn't say that. They're gonna regret that you're not there to do the extra that they used to. They should have appreciated you. They should have kissed your butt a bit more. I don't think it would have lasted forever anyway, but still, they should have honored you better, and they're gonna be sad that you're gone. I do get that. But I'm also getting that's when your next trip comes forward, and then something else will show up. Whatever new shows up, it's gonna take some work, but I don't feel you being afraid of that. As long as it works out eventually to where you need it to be, it's going to take some work to get there, but it has the potential to get there. This is the 10 of Wands. This is success through stress. You have to work with stress to get to that success, but it's still success either way. And they're like, what do you want your story to be? What do you want your destiny to be here? Do you want to stay with the situation and go and make that your destiny, or do you want to create a new destiny for yourself and go where you actually want to be? This is the last 3 cards. These are more going if you choose you. I feel like this is choosing you. Kind of like I'm not going to keep bending over backwards for people who don't appreciate me. I'm going to choose myself and create a new life where I want it to be. So this is like the 3 of Wands, like you heading out and going where you want to be. That's the first step of it. And then it's leading to like enjoying life a lot more. There's a lot of work that has to go on here. It's either you with the intellect or somebody else you're clicking up with, that's helping you create more than you thought you could have. Could be you, could be somebody else you're connecting with that's creating more here than you thought you could have, and that would be your outcome, prosperity. When I feel prosperity, it's not just the benign success energy, kind of like, oh, I made the goal. To me, like if you're playing the game, success is one goal. Prosperity is making 50 goals in like a shutout game. Like you dominated the game, and the game is yours. You are a pro player, and you won the whole game. This is winning the whole game, not just scoring one goal. So this could go a lot better for you. You could be a lot happier with it. It's worth the prosperity. I guess I'm going to pick these back up too. You do have the Knight of Cups there. So if that's a relationship, this is finding somebody who fits you better. If this is a work situation, this is finding a job or a vocation, or maybe working for yourself and loving it while you do. Feeling you have the control and you have the outcome that you actually deserve, not the outcome that somebody else thinks you should have. Are we good? That was a lot. It's a good reading, but I feel like taking that step into the unknown, it is a bit of stress. I'm not going to pretend like it's not. But for you, you're Aries. If you put your mind to it, it's amazing what you could do. You're one of those signs. So it's up to you if you want to choose that or not. If it's not for you, then it's not. But if it is, they're saying go for it. It's time. How long have you held on to this or accepted this for the mediocre life that it's been giving you? Is it time to let that go and go towards what you actually deserve in life? Are we good? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.